Hey, welcome back to Car Talks, where I rant, ramble, rave, word vomit my thoughts on training, fitness, nutrition, and life. Thinking about adapting today. It's just kind of struck my mind, and so I just turned on the camera, and we're kind of, like I said, word vomit on this one. Right now, there's been a huge, like I said, these are all filmed and then posted way later than normal. Coronavirus. One of the huge things that's happened, at least for me, over the past couple of weeks, with stay-at-home orders in effect, with all of these different things that have gone on, is how do we adapt to the different things that are around us, right? Training, when we talk about training, when we talk about survival of the fittest, we're talking about trying to adapt to something. Well, that's a two-way street. You have an athlete or a client or somebody that is doing the training that has to adapt, and then you have a trainer, a coach, or whoever is providing said training has to adapt as well, right? If you ever read the book Conscious Coaching, it talks a lot about adaptability and being adaptable in the way that you communicate, in the way that you reach people through your words, your actions, your body language. And we really, especially now, it's been a really interesting time to learn how to adapt. We're having to adapt to everything, whether that's training, whether that's getting your groceries. Everybody's been having to adapt to everything very, very quickly. And so one of the things that has really crossed my mind is this has been a really hard time, financially, I think, for myself, for a lot of people. Everybody's worried about job security. Everybody's worried about what happens next. And it's been really interesting to see, because I run Zoom sessions right now, like Zoom training for kids. I know a lot of coaches are doing that, and that will expose a lot of how you communicate. I've been having to adapt how I communicate, because a 10-year-old with no training experience on a Zoom call doing at-home strength and at-home little agility workouts is not a very easy thing to do. So learning how to communicate that, learning how to adapt your business practices for when this all clears up. The staff and I that remain at the training facility, we've been really breaking down what is this going to look like when we come back. I mentioned in a previous video, we're having to move. That's not a fun, having to move is not a fun task. So we throw that in the loop. We're going to be doing a lot of adult stuff coming back. I think that's one of the big things, is that we haven't done a whole lot of work with adults, and let's be real, adults are, I still love working with adults, and I think that's going to be, how do we adapt business-wise? What are the things that we do? We've done a lot of strength training with the kids that we work with. We're probably going to shift to a bigger speed training focus, largely because the facility I work at's a Parisi Speed School franchise, so doing more speed emphasized and speed work, at least nitty-gritty mechanical work with kids. So this time's been really interesting to see how people are adapting. I've seen a lot of businesses, I've seen a lot of people that have adapted in really unique and really cool ways to this whole pandemic, and it's just this really interesting thought process and something really interesting to see. And I think you're going to see a lot of trends in the fitness industry change over time. So that's just kind of what's on my mind. I figured to give you something to think about today. And until next time, we'll see you in the passenger seat.